Hey guys, welcome back to another video from Salient Aquatics. Just wanted to give you a little video on how I do my water changes and some things I found to make things more efficient and easier on electric bills. It's always a continuous improvement thing. I found other ways as I go. I put other videos out. If you follow my channel, you've seen them about my water changes, but I've even improved it even more. So let's jump right into it. See what we got going on. So what I found is I start here with the 125 gallon Oscar tank and I go around the room. And I used to in the past just get all the water changes done in these 8 tanks in a weekend. And that pretty much took my entire Saturday up, and if I didn't feel like finishing someday Sunday, well sometimes into Sunday. So in order to eliminate that, what I started doing is during the week I do 1 tank. I do the 5 big tanks through the week. So, you know, the 2 125s, the 2 75s, and the 55, that takes you to Friday. So what I've been doing is I get all the big tanks done. And then also on Friday, I just go ahead and do the 2 20-gallon longs and the little 10-gallon over there. So by Friday, I'm done with all my tanks, leaving the weekend open. What I've also found during doing this process is it's even easier on the water bill because you're not running the water in one day. You're spreading it out through the week, and believe it or not, that does make a difference on the water bill. So by doing this process, I've made it more efficient. It takes less time away from your family, less time on the weekends, and you know, it's not as daunting on you. It's having to do all 8 tanks at one time, which I was doing it for the longest time. Wasn't a huge deal, but I just like to find easier ways to improve things. That's what it's all about, continuous improvement, and I found this to definitely be a part of that. But there's also another process that I've changed, and I'm going to show you that next. This tank here is almost done filling up, and then I'm going to get everything done, and I'll show you that little process that I've created. So prior, when I was doing all of my tanks in one day or 2 days, I would hook my Python up to my bathroom sink and I would go around and get all done eating food and to try this out. And then that, of course, I take the tube off the Python and just use the hose, because the hose gives you more suction to get that stuff up. And all my tanks are sand except for one. So what I would do is I go around, get all that up, and then all I had, you know, scrape the algae, and then it was put my electric pump in, suck it out the window, and then use the Python to fill it back up. Well, over the time when you have aquariums, especially multiple aquariums, you want to try to not get as much sand in your house plumbing as possible. Over time, that is going to cause you an issue. So to fix that problem, and by doing this I got more suction, I made a tap in my window so I could hook my Python up to the garden hose outside. So now when I suck all that crap out, it goes outside, which is also good for the bushes, waters them, and I'm not getting any sand in my plumbing in the house anymore. But by doing this, I had to have 2 Python systems, which I had enough parts here and everything to do that, to make 2 for the Python. So I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So as you can see here, I cut a piece of plywood out, and the reason for this is, 1, it holds the hoses in place. It gives me something to hold them to, and 2, in the summertime, this blocks a bunch of bugs getting out. As you can see here, I drilled the size holes as I needed, and then I stapled screen across the hose. And it seals it all around the window. I can do what I got to do. It keeps the heat out of the house in the summer, it keeps the cool out of the house in the winter, and it keeps the bugs out. One side is the Python that goes outside and hooks up to my hose outside, and this is my pump that I use to pump the water out, because using an electric pump is by far quicker and it saves you a lot of money on your water bill, rather than using your Python to do everything hooked to your faucet. So how that works is Go outside, you turn your hose on, you come inside. I always turn my filters off and I turn my power heads off. I pop this off the python and just use the hose, because especially that I find in these bigger tanks and with the sand, a lot of times that uneaten food detritus would go up in the tube and it wouldn't even, had a hard time sucking it out. So if you pop this off and you hover it just above your sand, it's going to take everything out. As you can see here, I got most of it, but it gets worse than this. But the green algae starts caking up on the sand. This will actually suck that right off the sand too, and take the algae off your sand along with everything else. Once I get that done, I scrape all the algae off the side in front of the glass, and then I put my pump in to suck all the water out. I usually do about a 75% water change. I like to keep those nitrates as low as I possibly can. And then once that's finished, I go out, I shut that hose back off, and then I go to the sink with my other setup that goes to the sink, and I just use this for filling only. And you fill it up and you're good to go. And it goes pretty quick, saves time, saves money. And I just go around the room. The next tank is this 20-gallon long. This is the only tank I have gravel in. And of course I have to hook the tube back up on a hose for that, and that's what I'm about to do next on my 20-gallon long community tank. These guys are doing great. They're pretty colorful. They get high quality food. I'm slowly getting more plants in all my tanks. As you can see in my 55-gallon tiger barb tank, I got a ton of plants in here. I got some off the Silver Creek Aquatics, and I'm just stuffing this tank with plants, and I plan on doing that with many all my tanks, all of them except for that Mbuna tank over there, because the salt that I use for the cichlid lake salt, the plants won't thrive well in that, and plus the Mbunas are herbivores and they'll eat it all. So yeah, that's my process right there, and I just wanted to share that with you and give you guys some ideas. And if you didn't think of it, or maybe you were thinking about it and wanted to find out ways to save money, and look it up, and hopefully you find this video and it helps you. If it does, definitely leave the comments below. And another thing I started doing is I'm finally trying out the Aquarium Co-op Easy Green. I hear it's the cream of the crop. I dose my tanks with that every Saturday. So this Saturday coming up, we're going to be dosing them again. I'm going to monitor that and see how my plants do. I'm going to compare how it treats these plants over everything else I've used over the years, and I'm going to give a good review on that and see if I can just back up those claims as well. It's got thousands and thousands of good reviews on that, and so I mean, since even the one dosing, I noticed that this jungle valve is already standing up straighter. It's getting greener. That's just with one dosing. So I'm pretty excited to see what the future brings with this Easy Green. So that's it in a nutshell. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys do. Let me know how you do your processes. Let me know if this video has helped you. And give me your advice. As always, I like to get advice too. I'm always learning. We're always learning together, and that's what we do. So until next video, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for supporting.